While Bosch is one of the most popular shows on Prime Video, some things stand out when you rewatch, and not in a good way. The series began streaming on the platform in 2014, and since it ended in 2021, we've gotten the chance to revisit this dark and compelling world through two spin-off series, Bosch, Legacy and Ballard. So much of the show will always be impressive, from Titus Welliver's strong performance as Detective Harry Bosch to Bosch's excellent characters like Jerry Edgar, Jamie Hector. Other parts are upsetting to revisit and make you realize that while the show is a fantastic example of a procedural, it's not perfect, and some storylines and big character moments could have been improved. Some of Bosch's dialogue doesn't hold up. Harry Bosch and Jerry Edgar in Bosch Season 7. A show of any genre is only as strong as its dialogue, with sitcoms needing lines that are as clever as they are funny and dramas requiring powerful exchanges that make you think or move the story forward. When you go back and watch Bosch again from the beginning, some of the dialogue sticks out badly. In one case, Bosch is outright sexist, and he has a conversation with Jerry that is memorable for all the wrong reasons. Bosch tells Jerry, "You're obsessed with clothing. You're like a chick, man. An ugly chick, but a chick." Sure, Bosch is harsh and honest, but this line is downright mean. Other Bosch quotes are corny, like when Jerry tells Bosch, "There's more to life than work." Since we know the detective is obsessed with his job, this is too on the nose. Ballard has a better, more unique premise than Bosch. Maggie Q as Renee Ballard in Ballard. When Bosch began streaming in 2014, we were drawn to it because it was a particularly intelligent procedural with a main character we were consistently curious about. But now that we've gotten the chance to watch the first season of the Bosch spin-off Ballard, it's hard not to find that premise more compelling. Bosch may be a popular take on the procedural, but at its core, it still follows that narrative structure and can feel like a conventional crime drama show. Ballard, however, is more intriguing from a storytelling perspective. Renee Ballard, Maggie Q, has a job like Bosch's, but she's also figuring out a mystery, and that storyline lasts all season. Ballard's interest in this case makes the show more entertaining than your run-of-the-mill crime drama about cops. And no matter how much we all love Detective Harry Bosch, Maggie Q's Ballard is equally brilliant, and she carries the spin-off perfectly. Bosch's daughter Maddie is a frustrating character. Maddie, Madison Lintz, on Bosch. It's easy to see why Bosch's daughter Maddie, Madison Lintz, is part of the show. It's necessary for him to have a family since it makes him more relatable and allows you to see him as a caring human being. But when rewatching, Maddie comes off as cocky and immature, and she's not a fan-favorite character. Watching Bosch, Legacy makes Maddie's personality in the original series even worse because, at least in the spin-off, she works for the Lapped and has more to do. Then, in Season 2, she is abducted, which is a fascinating and terrifying storyline that raises the stakes perfectly. It's more interesting to watch Maddie work with Bosch since it makes sense that she would want to follow her dad's unique career path. You also can't help but think about whether she can ever have a normal life, given the pain she and her dad have experienced. Although Maddie is an intern in Bosch Season 5 and becomes a bigger part of her dad's world at that point, she's often shown as an impulsive character, and that makes her tough to like. When she leaves for LA without telling anyone at the end of Season 1, she feels like yet another generic rebellious teenage character. Eleanor's death was a mistake. Sarah Clark as Eleanor wished talking to someone worried in Bosch. While death is, of course, a daily reality for Bosch, killing off his ex-wife Eleanor Wish, Sarah Clark, is one of the most frustrating parts of rewatching the show. There's a fine line between having a character die so the plot can move forward and sacrificing a significant character for a big and shocking twist. It's hard not to feel like her death was a result of the latter. It's also tough not to compare Eleanor's demise on the Prime Video series to the way that Michael Connelly wrote this moment in his book Nine Dragons. On the show, she's in a parking lot after meeting up with Bosch, and two killers shoot her from a motorcycle. But in the novel, Bosch is with Eleanor in Hong Kong, which she and Maddie call home, and she's murdered. Both versions are violent and disturbing, but whether you read the book or have only seen the show, most will likely agree that another major character could have been killed off instead. Bosch knows he couldn't stay married, but Eleanor's a crucial part of the show since her presence serves as a challenging reminder that he put his job before her. You know they can't get back together, and the show doesn't need a love story. But it's still moving watching their scenes, and it's a shame to see her go. Season 5's Pill Mill storyline isn't that compelling. Chris Vance and Titus Welliver on Bosch. When you watch Bosch again, you realize that not every plotline is as good as the others. The Pill Mill arc in Season 5 is one of the least popular, and many fans find it boring. And with so many great shows about similar subjects, like Netflix's true story-based Painkiller, it's hard not to find this storyline run-of-the-mill rather than powerful. The biggest problem with this storyline? Bosch works undercover, which ruins the entire premise of the show. You want to watch Harry Bosch because he is who he is, no matter what other people say, not because he's pretending to be someone else. In contrast, other storylines hold up great, like the shocking and sad apartment fire in Bosch Season 7, and they're just as exciting and binge-worthy the second time around. Marjorie's plotline is different, and stronger, in the book series. Young Bosch, Aidan Langford, and Marjorie, Catherine Leonard, on Bosch. We never actually see Bosch's mom, Marjorie Lowe, Catherine Leonard, on the show except via flashbacks, as he was only 11 when she was killed. This is a key part of his character arc since it arguably informs his choice of career, and he has such strong emotions about it. But while it might be easy to accept Marjorie's arc as just part of the show the first time you watch, it's more obvious the second, or more, time around that she has a stronger plotline in Michael Connelly's book series. Bosch finds out the murderer in both the book and on the show. However, in the book, he learns his mom was killed because she was going to marry a politician. This is an excellent, if incredibly sad, story. It wasn't necessary to switch up the killer for the show, as Bosch could have simply kept this plotline the same. Ballard is a more exciting spin-off than Bosch, Legacy. Ballard, Maggie Q, walking outside on Ballard. Bosch, Legacy is essentially just more Bosch, and when you rewatch the original show, that becomes even clearer. While that would have been fine if Ballard hadn't come around, the addition of Ballard to the popular franchise makes you realize Maggie Q's series is the better spin-off.